What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today in Miami, it is not sunny, it is rainy, and that is why we are in here first before we take a ride in this. This is obviously something new, and it is absolutely massive, and it is the result of someone who probably should get mental help at FCA. This is the Ram TRX, T-Rex, whatever you want to call it, and it is an absolute blast to drive. This is the result of someone at FCA on the board that said, you know what America needs? America needs more power. And thanks to Ford starting this whole battle with the Raptor and the whole market segment of now factory Baja cars, they made this. And if you ask me, this is single-handedly one of the most important trucks in history. Obviously it's new, so it hasn't really made its mark yet, but if you really think about it, this is probably the craziest thing we will ever get to see on the market. Cars and trucks are going into hybrid and electric powertrains, and no one has had the guts to really put something that is just absolutely maniacal in one of these things until FCA did it. So far, FCA has put the Hellcat engine in just about anything. They have turned the Challenger into something that is absolutely insane, which is great. They have turned the Charger into something that is really dangerous for the streets. And the simple family vehicles of the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the Dodge Durango are now Hellcat powered. And of course, what else is there left to do? Hellcat swap this and more than likely probably put it in a Chrysler Pacifica at some point in time, because after seeing them do it to this, I honestly don't think that I would be surprised if they did it to anything else. Now, what is so great about this truck, about this beast of a vehicle that I have with me today? It's not only the fact that they put a 700 horsepower supercharged 6.2 V8 in it, it is a combination of all the engineering that went behind it. This is directly aimed at the Ford Raptor. In fact, it is so directly aimed at the Ford Raptor that they went ahead and named it the T-Rex because it's naturally the only thing bigger and better than a Raptor. So Dodge is having a little bit of fun with the fact that the Raptor had no real natural predators in history and in science other than the T-Rex, and by naming this truck the T-Rex, they essentially are directly attacking Ford with this vehicle. Now, this is the type of battle that I love to see. I love it when car manufacturers are really passionate about each of their products and they put them head to head at all times. But FCA really nailed it on the head with this one. We know that in Jeeps and in FCA's Jeep culture, they put a bunch of little Easter eggs throughout the car. And in this one, they went ahead and put even more Easter eggs to the Raptor community by hiding tons of little details in this car that are completely aimed at making sure that you know that this is the better option. So I was able to find the window sticker here, and this is a truck that starts at $70,000, given it is a whole lot of truck for starting at $70,000, but once it's pretty much all optioned, this one totaled out to $90,815, not including all the premiums that you pay at the dealership, and the fact that people are paying close to 30 grand over sticker just to get their hands on one of these. It puts this truck at a 6-digit territory very quickly. I personally would never pay over a sticker for one of these, but let's take a look around at the vehicle, look at the details, and you'll see just how much of an amazing piece of engineering this car is. Starting with the engine bay. So when you pop the hood, there isn't a whole lot to see from here. You're immediately greeted by this massive air cleaner here that is branded TRX. You got the Ram Airflow branding up here from the hood scoop that is functional, that goes ahead and fills in your air there to where the filter is for the supercharger. But what is neat is the Easter eggs that are within the vehicle. First off, this trim and all these little details here are actually really nice, but if you pop off this piece of plastic here, you get to expose a T-Rex actually eating a Velociraptor, which is a direct jab at Ford. Obviously, it's friendly. They're not actually trying to kill someone or hurt them, but this is really cool. And once you pop this off, you get to see into the engine bay a little bit better. You still have this massive piece of plastic, but it allows for you to at least look in and see the massive Hellcat motor that's in here that we all know is tried and true and highly capable of producing even more power than it already does. Now, from an engineering standpoint, this is actually really well thought out. Obviously, with this massive engine, it's a pretty heavy crate motor to put into a truck like this, and especially if you're going to be jumping it and using it to go off-road where you really need good balance, this engine is positioned pretty into the firewall, if not right at the strut towers is where the front of the engine lies, and you can almost consider it a mid-front engine car. You have a massive amount of space here, obviously for the air cleaners, the radiator, and probably, you know, for crumple zone as well and accidents. But for the size of this engine, the fact that they were able to shove it in here and far back to make sure that it's evenly distributed weight-wise, it is pretty impressive to see. So other things that I enjoy about the truck is just how absolutely massive it looks. I mean, this is realistically probably what driving the Halo Warthog is like in real life. It's realistically probably the closest thing you're ever gonna get to it. And this particular example is equipped with the upgraded beadlock wheels, which is also really important if you plan on jumping it. Now, moving on to the interior, you have a ton of really cool options. You have this enormous screen that is touchscreen that helps you control pretty much everything that you would want, all of your climate controls, all of your cameras, because this car does have pretty much 360-degree cameras from up top in the front for all your parking needs, for your towing needs, and so on and so forth. This one is equipped with a heated steering wheel as well. You have tons of Alcantara everywhere. This one was optioned with the deviated stitching package, which is also very nice. And then adding on with the, you know, all the little Easter eggs as far as the T-Rex is concerned. You have this really nice plaque here. It goes ahead and gives you your VIN number, it gives you the details of the car, which looks nice. When you first get the car, you get little tags on here with, you know, a little footprint. And then in here, you have in the glove box another size comparison of what the T-Rex truck looks like versus what an actual T-Rex looks like to scale with, you guessed it, a Velociraptor. I think it's really, really fun, and it's really cool the way that Dodge is approaching this new market and this new space that has been pretty much explored by Ford and really exploited by them. But they definitely want in, and they want to make sure that they come out on top. All right, so here we are in the 2021 T-Rex, TRX, however you like to call it. This is seriously a future classic. How many years is it gonna take for it to actually appreciate? Who knows? Will it ever depreciate, or will it hold its value very well? I don't think it'll depreciate that much. I genuinely think it will hold its value that well. This truck is amazing. It's astonishing how fast it is. It handles very well, and of course people buy this for the off-roading capabilities and just for the fact that you can do whatever you want with it. And you really can. I mean, the supercharger whine is intoxicating and all, but the fact that I'm going 20 miles an hour and I just cruised over a speed bump with actually not even an ounce of movement, it shows a lot to what the suspension is like. This truck is extremely well developed. The fit and finish on everything is very nice. I don't feel like I need anything else. The amenities are all there. The fun of this vehicle is the fact that you can just chuck it anywhere and it'll go basically anywhere. It goes on all surfaces. You have multiple terrain modes: snow, sand, mud. You have track mode, of course. You have launch control. I mean, it's incredible how intuitive this vehicle is. You can adjust pretty much everything on the fly. You have the TRX button here right next to the ignition and to all of your controls for the all-wheel drive system, and you can change to turn on your paddle shifters, turn them off. You can go between your snow, tow, mud, sand, rock, Baja, and custom modes where you can adjust the suspension, the steering feel, the transmission shifting points. It's really, really impressive how much you can do with this vehicle straight out of the box. The easiest way to describe this car with one word is that it's just rad. And not to sound like some West Coast surfer, it is just completely something that you would never expect, and it's something totally out of left field, especially for being a pickup truck. And then of course you have the iconic supercharger whine, which is just unbelievable in this truck. I mean, just listen to this. And then you have the yaw of this vehicle as it just pitches forward when you get on the brakes. And it does very well on the brakes too. It's just unreal. Would I go into paddle shifting mode and shift it myself? Yes, but honestly, this truck can just do it for you. It's that smart. It's pretty advanced. I mean, if you do it yourself, you're gonna find yourself over revving often just because of how quick this thing goes through its 8 gears. And honestly, I think this could use a 10-speed, but it is just such a linear power band, of course, with the iconic Hellcat engine that you really can't complain either way. So this entire review has been on the pavement, and on the road, it's comfy. We've made that pretty clear. However, unfortunately, it did just happen to rain, and more so unfortunately, we do have a lake in the back with a nice grass field where we actually are gonna go ahead and see just how this holds up. So, without further ado, here we go, and into the grass we go. Oh wow. Oh wow, this is fun. What? Wow, I barely feel this. This feels like I'm on a boat, really. Wow, that is impressive. Just how well it takes on these bumps. Oh, this is fun. I see, this is awesome. Oh, I gotta change the view. Don't worry, I'll change the view right now. Hell yeah, this is amazing. No wonder people love these things. No, where was it? Suspension, off-road. All right, so modes, let's go. We are gonna be in mud/sand. Traction control is now off, which means that this should be interesting. We have our pitch and roll of the vehicle. So now let's see just how active it is. Oh wow, it is very active. Which we're in a pretty flat surface, so let's go ahead and just turn around here. Oh boy, this is oh, this is fun. There we go. So it's picking up all the differences in the ground level. And now as far as wheel articulation is concerned, let's go to this area that has a nice little dip, and we'll see right now it's reading 2 degrees, 4, 12, 14. This is so cool. It really does pick up everything, and it gives you a live reading of how the suspension is working. This is so impressive. So now that we have officially taken it off-road and seen what it can do, I now really am fully 100% convinced, and now I see why this is a $100,000 vehicle. This is insane what it can take on. And honestly, it really does make me sad to think that these types of cars are on their way out. The more we go towards hybrid cars and towards electric power, I mean, it's sad to think that this era is the best era of the automobile that we've ever been in, and who knows when we're gonna get it again. I mean, maybe we find alternative fuel someday and we can get that supercharger whine and a combustion engine that makes this much noise once again without having to worry about anything else. But, you know, with the fact that even today's new Lightning that just came out is electric and all that stuff, it's clear that cars are headed in a way that we sometimes might be too scared to admit that it's headed that way. But man, this is such an amazing vehicle. It's honestly a blast to drive. I highly recommend it, and yes, I'm going to stand with the sense that this is probably one of the most important trucks in truck history. I mean, it's a huge pivotal moment for the pickup truck and for Ram as well, and for Dodge. I mean, it's such a good car. Honestly, to the engineers at FCA and to the psychopath that decided to put this engine in this car, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And you know, this is this is so cool, man. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. We have more videos coming soon, and as always, drive safe, stay safe, and we will see you next time. Cheers.